Hello, everyone. We're here, and I am so excited to introduce Linda G. She is from the States. She is the Comanche psychic, and she is fabulous, and I am honored to have her here.
Thank you.
Linda,
I stand with Ukraine.
Awesome, awesome. I can literally tell you that the people here have been awesome in coming out. I mean, they're coming out with furniture, beds, food, hygiene products.
But it's still, as kind as it is, you know, they would have rather had their own home.
Absolutely. I mean, I think about when I was living in the States and Katrina hit. And
you lived through Katrina?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God, that was so scary.
It was absolutely awful. And our church community had come together and set up a refugee center, and we had gone down, sent buses to help people come back, because I lived in Maryland and this was in Louisiana. And the community was coming together with food, clothes, bedding, all of these things to try and help those people have some bit of normalcy.
Exactly.
But like you asked before, we never thought they were going to come to stay. And it ended up where they actually didn't come at all. But people from the churches from our churches went down there and helped them rebuild their homes.
Right.
And they were so excited and gracious about people coming from outside of the state to help, that they became a sister church to us, and they would come to visit us to thank us for the work that they had done in their community. So
it just really brings people together. Remember, I don't know if you watch my videos, but I said something's going to bring this nation together. And I even thought it might be a war.
Well, that is exactly why I thought I would love to have you on this program, because every video that I have seen of yours, you have always talked about these things will pass, that we have to stay calm.
We have to stay calm. And let me tell you something else. Somebody disagreed with me, but and we all have our rights. Psychically, I kept seeing, first of all, when I did my outdoor video where I was totally panicked, I said, you guys, something's getting ready to happen, something big, and blood will be shed. And I could see, and then I heard my guide say, but it is the end of Putin. Wow. This will end him. There's no way he's going to get by with this. Then I saw Putin gone, and then tents, lots of tents. I think a lot of those people are going to come back. As nice as it is in these other countries, they love their country. I'm telling you, not everybody, but a good portion of them will rebuild.
I can't imagine that they would not want to go back and rebuild, because many of the people who have left are wives who've left their husbands and children.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to want to get back to their families as soon as they possibly can.
Right, and everybody's going to pour money into the country.
And that was one thing that I really like that you said, because it does bring the countries together. More people are standing beside Ukraine than next to Russia.
Don't you know he's shocked? Don't you know Putin is shocked?
One of the questions that I have for you is, what is the purpose of Putin? What is his purpose here?
Well, he's close to Hitler. He's close to that. He's actually losing his mind. He's crazy. But I feel like he, you know, not only did we have the pandemic that seemed to divide us even more, you would have thought it would have, although it did bring a lot of people together. But now we've got this crazy man, and even the Republicans are like furious, although most of them get money from Russia.
I was going to say.
And what's his face that talked about somebody needs to take out Putin. He got $800,000 from Russia. So, but that's going to cut the Republicans' ability to get money. They got most of their money from Russia.
Well, I heard a report today that Rand Paul's grandson-in-law has been brought up on charges for facilitating the Russian money into the 2016 election. That was just a news report that I heard.
Oh, I love it. And listen, I just saw on my phone that McDonald's is pulling out of Russia.
Yes, yes. What do you think is going to be, or do you think the Russian people are going to also step up and help Ukraine after Putin is gone?
I do. I feel like Russia will be, it's like Germany, well, people kind of knew but didn't want to know. But remember, they made the Germans come out and help get rid of the bodies at the camps and help bury them and stuff. So, Germany will never make that mistake again.
No, I can honestly tell you that when I first came here, I was expecting there to be still a little bit of anger with the US, and there was none of that.
That's great.
I literally, because when I first came here, I didn't have a job. And so I was determined I was going to go out and I was going to see the city, even though my husband was at work. And I would get lost, couldn't speak any German. Mm-hmm. And I would stop somebody to say, Hilfe, Hilfe, bitte. And even though they couldn't speak English, they were finding people who were going to help me.
Oh.
And so then I just got more confident. I still couldn't speak German very well, but I still got more confident that I was going to go out and do different things on my own.
Right.
Not depend on my husband to lead me around everywhere. And I just met some of the most wonderful people. And I ended up in the hospital. And yes, the doctors all speak English. The nurses don't speak any English. And so the nurses would come into my room every day and I was like, oh my God, I can't communicate with them. And there was always somebody in my room who spoke German and English, and they were always willing to help me out. Then we became best friends. And when we came out of the hospital, we were always like, oh, we're having a cookout and you got to come.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Have you gone over to Auschwitz or any of those camps?
I have not gone to Auschwitz. I have been to Poland. Warsaw is where Auschwitz is, and that's about 12 hours away from us.
Okay.
I have been to the concentration in Saxon, which is here, and that's about 2 hours away from Berlin. And it was a very depressing place, but it's actually in the center of a neighborhood.
Wow.
They try to, the people in the neighborhood know the place is there and they welcome visitors to come, but they live their normal day lives and they say that's their past. They're going forward from here.
Right, right. Oh, yeah.
So it was an interesting place to visit. And honestly, what I felt was just a coldness. In that inside the center, it was just, when you walk through the gates, it was just like it was ice cold. And when you walked outside, it was so different, such a different atmosphere.
Yeah, so it carries that energy.
It definitely did. It was extremely depressing. Because they left everything exactly as it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you see the little suitcases and the shoes and stuff.
And the wooden beds that they slept on with hay and all of those things. And it was just dehumanizing. And I hope that no one ever goes back to something like this. And when you,
I'll tell you, if it was up to Putin, all those people would be in jail. He's putting his own people in jail now.
That is the frightening thing. And it's like, okay, how long are the Russian people going to put up with this before they
showed a thing of a mayor talking in his town and some women were screaming at him. I know you sent my son and there's a war over there. And he was denying it.
How about the thousands of women who are calling Ukraine to ask about their children?
No kidding.
Yes, they
have. I didn't know that.
They have call centers set up in Ukraine, and they have already asked the mothers from Russia to come and pick up their sons.
That are alive or dead?
that are alive.
Okay.
The mothers are calling this hotline number and asking about their children. Even people from the States are calling to ask about their nephews and cousins and things like that. They just want to know if they're still alive and how can they help. And one of the things that mothers are saying is, my child didn't know he was coming.
No, I know. A lot of those soldiers are saying we had no clue.
That is the most devastating thing as a mother, to not know where your child is and what he's doing.
If he dies, are they going to cremate him in those little portable cremation things they got? That's just
with the way that Putin is bombarding Ukraine, you have to wonder if this is actually his last stand. Does he know
it's his last stand?
Well,
I'm telling you, my guide said, if you trust anything my guides say, and I trust him with my whole heart, when I was just devastated with the fact that he was going to attack the Ukraine and blood would be shed, they said to me, but this is the beginning of the end for Putin. And I also feel it'll be his own people that take him out.
Well, that's my question, because if you notice, there are certain things that are going on with his army, like the convoy is stalled. And I'm wondering, are there outside forces outside of the countries, say alien forces
or angelic, yeah. I feel that some guy was writing in Ukraine, prayers work, because certain bombs flew and then they disappeared in midair. But let me tell you something too. Thank God for the intel that from Russia that gave the president, what is Savinsky, how do you say his name?
Zelensky.
You know, I say it all the time. That gave him a heads up who was coming to kill him.
Wow.
That was intel. And let me tell you, intel, somebody wrote me and said, oh, you must have discussed intel, like, you know, people like the FBI and CIA are watching my show. And of course, this is for entertainment purposes. I'm just telling you, my thought is that, like I did with Trump, I used to say, people are gathering on a table and they're talking about how they can deter Trump from ever pushing the button. What they're going to do to make sure, because he can be great. You know, when he was mad at North Korea, he probably would have pressed the button. So anyway, that's what I'm feeling. I feel like they are basically in fear of nukes and that they're going to do something to make sure he's not able to do this. And this is his own people, not outside. This is his own people.
Well, that's good. I mean, because I'm not so sure that people from other countries are going to be able to get into Russia unnoticed.
No. I see it inside. If you look, did you look at the picture of him at the end of that table, that 7-foot table? And yes. The guys on the end, his generals, did you see the looks on their faces?
Yes, but I wonder if it's fear.
They had a look of, they were just disgusted. Like this mother. Putin's all smiling and, you know, he's all quirky and they were all like looking serious.
But isn't that the same way that people around Trump were looking?
Remember when Nancy Pelosi said, follow the money, you're in Putin's hands, and he yelled at her and called her all kinds of names. And even the general sitting there, they all looked like they just wanted to go under the table.
But here it was a woman who stood up to him, and all of those men cowered, licked his boots. And I thought, wow, he must be paying you all an awful lot, and your soul has a price on it. That's a shame.
And let me tell you something else. I don't know if Putin will go to jail or he'll be taken out or what, but when the other people get involved, his staff, I see them throwing stuff, information, intel at the United States, where a lot of stuff that we thought Putin had on Trump, he does.
Oh,
and they're going to kind of blame it on Putin. Well, he made us do this, he made us do that, to try to give themselves a little leeway, you know.
Yeah, but I almost feel like Putin is doing everything he can to goad the US into a war?
That's what I'm feeling too. It's funny you said that, but I don't see a war.
That's great.
I don't see a nuke war, girlfriend.
That is absolutely awesome. I know that
Because he's a bully. He's like the North Korea guy. He's a bully. And remember, he told Trump, we're gonna blow you. And Trump said, okay, Rocket Man. And Trump came back on him. I hate to say it, but by him coming back on him, then he kowtowed, and then next thing you know, they're best friends.
Well, that was the one thing that Trump was good at, is being a bully.
Don't threaten me.
Yeah. So, and especially when he went to meet Kim Jong-un and he towered over him, he felt like he was a god.
He towers over Putin too.
Yeah, but Putin was smarter than him, and Putin knew.
Definitely.
Yes. Yeah.
Putin knew. Is the one that helped with the racial stuff that happened here in this country. He fed it. He fed it and he fed it. And let me tell you, Hillary Clinton won. Down the road, it'll be proven beyond a reasonable doubt that Russia was right in the middle of that. That's why Reality Winner is a hero, because she was trying to show the United States, look, they have it in writing. Putin was in the middle of the voting.
Yeah, but you had the Republicans.
She was thrown in jail.
You had the Republicans in charge at that time, and they were determined not to let that get out, because as well as I do, that so many of them were in Russia's pocket.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
I'm wondering, once they hit all of the Russian oligarchs, are they going to start hitting the people who were taking money from Russia, from the US?
Oh yeah, they're going to have the trail, my friend.
Awesome.
Everybody uses everybody in the political realm. Everybody goes in with a $24,000 salary. Next thing you know, even that Margaret Green, or whatever her name is, now
let's just call her Margaret, because
Margaret, and then she got more money than God. They all make a bunch of money.
And it's like, you can't spend all of that money in one lifetime. Yeah. You want to pass some down to your children, but do what I did. Put some in a bank account for your child, so that when they grow up, and then they can go out and make their own and feel like they've done something for themselves, because too many of them have that silver spoon in their mouth. They think that the waters are supposed to part when they walk through.
Yeah. I don't know when you had your boys, when they were little, but I struggled when my kids were little, and they didn't get no silver spoon in their mouth, and they know how to fend for themselves. As soon as those two kids could push a chair up to the oven and make their own top robin, my job was done.
That is the thing that I am so proud of my sons, because even when they were children, they didn't have much, but they always looked out for those that had less than what they did.
Yes.
And I had said to them one day, I used to, just to keep them interested in school, I would say, okay, today I want you to go in and I want you to find a child who forgot his lunch or doesn't have lunch money, and I want you to buy them lunch. And so they were like, okay, Mom, that sounds like fun. And so then I was checking their lunch account, and I saw, oh my God, these kids are spending money like crazy. And that was only for one day.
They were buying for everybody.
They were buying for everybody.
My son Jacob, he's I love him. He's a Libra. He said, when he was little, he said, Mama, can I have this new game, right? Sure. Use the money Grandpa sent you for Christmas. Never mind. He didn't want to spend his own money, but he spent my money. And guess what he got? Nothing. Shoot.
Well,
I
had taught them, well, they did love to spend my money too, because, every year we had the angel tree at Christmas time, and they would beg me, can I go and pick a card off the angel tree? And I was like, yes, but the three of you pick one card. Okay, we can do one card. We have to leave something for everybody else.
That's
And
so
they would
cute.
pick the biggest family they could find to buy for. But I was like, okay, because they're learning to give to others. They're
That is
learning. And I feel like that's karmic for them.
Yeah,
That-
well, my son is about the only one who buys me a birthday present.
Well,
The other one can't, but he's so generous. He makes sure everybody gets something.
And that I think is the most beautiful part about them, our children.
Right.
When when they would, if they did something wrong and they were devastated, not because they knew they had done something wrong, but because they thought I was going to be disappointed in them doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And explaining to them that you admit your mistakes, we'll learn from those mistakes. You can't disappoint me because I'm always going to love you.
Exactly. Unconditionally.
Yes. And I
So
wish
when my kids like 3 and 4, I used to just drop them off at the jailhouse. And leave them there for a couple hours till they got my gist of what I was trying to tell them. No, I'm just kidding. No police officer would let those babies stay there. They were such good kids. And you know what? None of my kids drink or smoke or nothing.
Well, I can't say that about my kids, but they have a good time. They never do anything to hurt someone else or put someone else in danger.
That's the main thing.
Yeah. And so, and my oldest son has blessed me with 5 grandsons, and in August he will be having a daughter.
Yay!
Yes. And he said, I'm done, Mom. I'm done.
Where does he live at? What state?
He lives in Virginia.
Oh, that's a good place to raise kids.
Yes. And so I am like, I love every last one of them there.
Oh, listen, I wished I could have a whole batch. I have one grandson and he's like, Mama, Nana Cray, huh? He's just as cute as can be, but he's just so grown up. He's 8 years old now. He's like a grown man.
Oh, yes. I have one that will be 10 in May, the beginning of May. He'll be 10. And then the others are under 4. And I have a set of twins. So
I just love these little kids and kiss them on their big ass heads. And
oh my God.
They're so cute.
And they already know they've got, I didn't like to be called grandma because
I like Nana.
My grandsons call me Mia.
Okay. When my daughter was little, my mother, she was so funny. You would have thought she was a queen in a past life. I don't want you to call me grandmother. I want you to call me grandmama and call your grandfather grandpapa. And my daughter's just a little thing. And she's looking at my mom. She says, okay, Granny.
Oh my gosh.
And she looked at my dad and said, bye, Gramps. And she heads out the door. They were busting out laughing. It was so funny.
Well, my sons thought it was just going to be hilarious. And they were like, oh, we're going to get her to call you Mima. And I said, no, we are not going to do that. My grandsons are going to call me Mia. So my oldest grandson, when they were saying to him, go to Mima. And he said, that is not Mima. That is my Mia. I said, yeah, he heard me in the womb.
There you go. So in Germany, I had a friend that she's now deceased from Germany, and her name was Eva. And everybody called her mother, her children called her
Oma, yeah.
Is that German for grandmother?
Yes. And Opa for grandpa.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's something that I learned in German.
There you go. You know what? In fact, her and her sister and her mother were escaping out of Germany. They were Jewish. Mm-hmm. And they saw the light Oh, they were in Japan. Never mind. They weren't in Germany. They were in Japan because they saw the light with
Wow.
the bomb.
Wow.
Right. And she's the only one I knew that had seen that. But her sister ended up with leukemia and died at a very young age.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. But she lived to be almost 100.
You know, honestly, I feel like I can't believe that things are happening the way they are now in this
Yeah.
day and age. And I almost feel like the youth are going to be the ones who truly get us out of this, because
Yes.
they're using this digital age very well.
Exactly. My God, if it wasn't for my son, my guides told me to come and do a YouTube channel. I'm like, what? I've been a guest on Third Eye Champagne. I've been a guest as a medium. And boy, she had the lights set up real nice, and she did her face, and we put false eyelashes on, and we was looking, you know, and it was fun, but it looked like too much work to me. And so when my guide said, you're going to do a YouTube, I was like, what? I don't want to have to get up and brush my hair. And they said, Linda, you'll help calm people down. So I sat in front of the computer, not knowing what I was doing. And my son sort of helped me because he wasn't familiar anyway, but he reads and he finds out. And, you know, it was for a while that I was doing it, that he said, you know, Mom, you can monetize. You can monetize your videos. Oh, really?
So how long have you been doing it?
I've been doing it since February of 2018.
2018.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about you? How long have you been doing it?
Well, I have actually been working for Fortunica for the past 2 years.
Who's Fortunica?
Fortunica is it's a psychic network company.
Oh, okay.
And I am not actually a psychic. I have a little bit of intuitive in me. I have always known that my angels have been around me because they have taken care of me very well. They have gotten me out of a lot of situations. And I always thought to myself, why am I hearing voices? Something is telling me, don't do that.
Yeah. Listen.
Yeah. At one point, I felt something like hit me upside the head and say, didn't I tell you not to do that? And I was like,
I love it.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to listen from now on, because it was literally a bad situation that they got me out of. And I had no idea how I got out of it. But then I started remembering things that had happened to me in the past. I had been in a car. I was driving the car with my sister, and my sister is very clairvoyant. And it was at night, and I was stopped in the line of traffic waiting to make the turn. And I saw in my rearview mirror this car speeding up behind me. And I thought, oh my God, it's going to hit me. It's going to hit me. And I closed my eyes. And the car hit me at such a force. When I opened my eyes up, my car had jumped out of the lane that I was in and next to the line of cars. My sister's seat had broken and fallen back. And I thought, oh my God, she's hurt. I don't know how my car got out of the line, but literally people were there and they were pulling us out of the car, and they were saying, oh my God, that was such expert driving. How did you get your car out of there?
Wait, you don't even remember moving it?
No, I had my eyes closed.
Did he hit you?
He hit me, and he hit me with such force that it broke my sister's seat.
But they thought you had gotten out of the lane?
They thought I had turned that wheel and gotten the car out of the lane.
What happened to the guy that hit you?
To be honest with you, I don't remember anything after them pulling us out of the car. I was just thinking,
yeah,
there was no way that I did that, because my eyes were closed. I knew my eyes were closed. And I just thought, my angels moved that car. It
Move that.
wasn't time for me to be hurt or my sister to be hurt. And they moved that car. So and there were so many instances like that that had happened to me through the year. But honestly, I thought, well, everybody can do this. You know, everybody's got that little voice in their head saying, don't do this and don't do that. And 9 times out of 10, I didn't listen. And then it was like,
oh yeah, yeah.
grabbing you in your collar until I got old enough. And I was like, and I'm literally hearing, I said, don't do that.
Yes, they talk to you. Yeah. And I thought, even the dead, when I was reading a client and her mother came in the room, and I've talked about this story and it'll be in my book too, but the mother came in and I described her. I said, oh, your mother was this, color hair, this, and then she goes, yes, that sounds like my mom. And the lady said to me in my ear, tell her I can't find my left foot. So being a nurse, I thought, oh, she's probably a diabetic and lost her left foot. And I went to ask her daughter, was your mom a diabetic? And the lady says very firm, no, tell her I can't find my left foot. So I just said it. I said, your mother wants me to tell you she can't find her left foot. And I was waiting for her to say, I have no clue what you're talking about. And she said, Linda, my mom died in a plane crash and the only thing they found of her body was her left foot.
Oh my God. Can I ask you, do you have a lot of clients like that who just shock you?
Oh, girl, I could tell you stories make your hair curl. Well, I am writing a book. They made sure I have to do that. And I've got it mostly done. That's why I'm going to stop reading people at the end of this year.
Okay.
And I'm already booked till the end of the year because I have just too many. And I need time because my guides have been very specific about this book. But it's stories that would just make your heart soar because it proves beyond a reasonable doubt that there's no such thing as death,
Well, when your book comes out, how will we be able to get a copy of it?
It'll be on my YouTube. I'll let everybody know the link.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay. Can we just get your YouTube channel here so that people...
Yeah. What is my YouTube channel? It is, hold on. And now I hit 50,000.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's Linda G, the Comanche Psychic.
Okay.
Also known as Psycho.
I love the way you use your humor.
Yeah, I have 50,109.
It's so charismatic, you really
I'm old, I'm old spring chicken. I got nothing to prove. I'm just going to tell you like it is. Somebody wrote about me, some sort of thing. I'll have to send it to you.
Okay.
He says, I've checked out this Linda G Comanche Psychic and she's extremely accurate. We've checked her stuff and I know political people have let me know that I'm pretty good. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty good. I think it was 90%, they said. So anyway, she says, and somebody criticized her. She said, oh yeah, because of something she said. And she said, oh yeah, Mr. 2 followers. I didn't know you had a PhD behind your name. There's some people just think, and everybody's trying to be kind, but they always want to tell you your mispronunciation. I was dyslexic, so my pronunciation can be off. I still became a nurse, but they like to let you know, and some people are kind of rude about it.
Yeah.
You did. I'll have you know that is Deutsche Bank, not douchebag. I said, yeah, I know that. And I like to call it douchebag.
Some people are so depressed and they live in a darkness that the only way they can make themselves feel better is to lash out at other people.
Well, and the other thing is some people almost, it's like you're their family. They're so used to me and they really enjoy me. And sometimes I think they really bring things up because they think they're helping you. And I cringe a little bit because I hate being told you did this wrong. Or this eyeliner is a lot less than that eyeliner. That's the stuff that, yeah.
Well, you should be complimented because that means that they have gotten up close and they want to see you, say every bit about you, see everything about you.
I love these families that they'll show me their dogs watching me on TV. We watch you and the dog just stops what he's doing to watch you.
But that was one of the reasons why I started watching you so much, was because I really felt like I was talking to my sister.
There you go. There you go.
And I have
I'll
six
tell you
sisters.
what, when you asked me to do this, I had you visualize a certain way, and you're totally different than you're more easily approachable.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, good. I'm happy to hear that. I really do think it's because I grew up in a large family. And
Okay.
and I was number 9 out of 11.
Holy cow, girlfriend.
Yes. So literally, if you didn't speak up, you might miss a meal
Right.
because
Oh
mom
my
wasn't sure everybody got fed. So
Oh my God, was your mom a good cook?
my mom was fabulous. Oh my God, my dad never thought about buying lunch outside when he went out to work. It was always mom packed him a
Probably a
case.
better lunch. Yeah.
And the people on his job actually used to say, "What do you have for lunch today?"
I know, they probably loved it.
Yeah, but I mean, my mom was fabulous. My mom was this quiet woman, very shy. And my dad was the outspoken one who,
Gregarious.
yes, and very extroverted. And when he walked into a place, he said, "Okay, I'm here. Now we can start the party."
So what is the age differences between all of you?
We're the oldest 2 are 4 years apart. The youngest 2 are 4 years apart. And everybody else is 2 years apart.
Okay.
So
she was popping them out.
We used to laugh because we would look back at old pictures and say, "Mom, you didn't see your feet until you were like 45 years old," right? Because she was always pregnant.
Right. How old was she when she died?
My mom died when she was 64 years old.
Oh, that's still young.
Yes, and my dad was 60 when he passed away.
Jesus, that's still young. That's so sad.
Yeah, it was. My dad actually passed away the day I graduated from high school. My mom forced me to go to my graduation ceremony because my dad was really gung-ho about all of us getting a good education. And he got sick the day before and was taken to the hospital. But he had said to my mom, she is going to graduate. She's going to walk across that stage no matter what happens. And so my mother came home that morning from the hospital and said, "Get your gown on. Your dad, your dad wanted you to graduate." And she said, "After you graduate, you can take your diploma to the hospital to see your dad."
Okay.
And when I got home for graduation, he had already passed.
Oh, no. But he knows. He's not gone.
I know he was there watching me.
Yeah.
He was really gung-ho with me. I mean, I think I actually was one who was as extroverted as he was.
Yes, you definitely are extroverted. Yeah.
But you had to be. I mean, I had 4 older brothers.
Oh,
and
what a pain in the ass. A lot of smelly feet, huh?
I was determined I was going to keep up with them. And so my father actually used to laugh because I was always playing pranks on them.
Yeah.
And my father would hear them scream and he would just sit there and laugh in his chair like, "She got him again. Yeah. They'll never learn." And I thought, and then they started calling me and saying, "Hey, I want to play a joke on this one. What do you have?" I said, really, guys? I need to hire myself out. Okay.
There you go. But that's awfully young to lose your folks.
It was hard too, because I literally didn't start to date until after my father had passed. So.
But then you still had younger kids at the house?
Yeah, I had 2 younger sisters at the house. So it was hard because for me, my father was my security blanket.
Did you lose a sibling that was too young to die?
I did not find out until after my mother had passed away that I had actually been born a twin.
Okay, that's it. There was like a baby or something to you. Somebody didn't make it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
doggone.
we were shocked. My aunt came to my sister and said she was born a twin, and the twin died in childbirth, and your mom was so upset about losing a baby that she had to call. She made your dad put all of the kids in the car, and at that time they didn't allow children in the hospitals,
Right.
especially on the maternity wards. And so they all had to get out of the car so that she could see them from the window.
Oh my God.
And
was it another girl or was it a boy?
I don't know. That was when she told me that she remembered going to the hospital and that they all had to get out of the car and they were standing there waving at my mom. And so I said, you know, did you ask if it was a boy or a girl? And I joked because as I was growing up when I was a child, I was always getting into trouble. And I would say to my mom, you know, Mom, I really do need a twin. I should have had a twin because I need somebody to blame some of this stuff on. And my mother would say, go play, go play.
Yeah.
But she never talked about it.
Never let you know.
Yeah.
They might have had to have done a death certificate if it was a.
Well, I checked on my birth certificate, and literally on my birth certificate, it didn't even have my name on the birth certificate. It only said baby girl.
Probably your mom couldn't name you yet, right? She was too devastated.
Well, you know, honestly, I thought even when I was having my children, my first one anyhow, they didn't say to me, you have to have the name right away.
And, no, you don't have to have a name right away. Yeah.
And so I think the first 6 or 7 children were actually born at home.
Oh, okay.
With a midwife. And so when my sister was born, she had her leg laying on her chest. And so my mother actually then started to go to the hospital to have the rest of us. Oh,
that's a painful delivery.
Yes.
Does your sister have problems at all with
no
hips or anything? Okay.
This was the miraculous thing because we asked, you know, why doesn't she walk with a limp or anything like that? My mother, her sisters all told her, you need to tie her leg down and put like a stiff board or even a curtain rod. Wrap it around the 2 legs together so that her leg will stay down. And she never had any problems. They wanted to break her leg. They wanted to take her to the hospital and they wanted to break her leg. And all of her sisters said, no, that's not what you do. I was thinking, oh my God, you know, this is how they were back then. But
well, yeah, because when we had tough deliveries, I've been to many of them, and not me, I didn't do it. The nurse midwife would, or the doctor, they break the clavicle to help get the baby out. And you can hear the pop.
Oh my God.
It's a loud pop, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pause for a moment here.
Okay.
Linda, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to do this. It has been so much fun, and I can't wait till we do it again. And
we're going to do it again, girlfriend. You're awesome. My new sister.
I love it.
All right, honey. And then I'm going to get out to Germany someday.
Oh, I would love it if you came out here.
I want to go to Germany.
When you come out here.
I feel like I might have a connection there. My father was German too. He's German, Irish, Dutch.
Oh. Well, you come anytime. You let me know you have a place to stay. I would love it. I would love it.
Thank you, honey. Well, goodbye, everybody. Wonderful meeting everyone.
Thank you so much. And you have a great evening.
You too, honey.
Bye-bye.